I read for 24 hours inside of a theme park. Now that's a bit of a weird statement, even by our standards, but a lot of the reading challenges that we're going to do over the next couple of months are going to be weirder than normal, to say the least. But I think you guys are really going to love this one because there are a lot of twists and turns to what I thought would be a relatively simple day.
What is up, weirdos? For today's reading challenge, we are going to be reading for 24 hours inside of a theme park. Now, my theme park of choice for today was Epic Universe, which is a big one and a new one more specifically. Now, it was really difficult to get these tickets, but I thought it'd be fun if we gave ourselves this little challenge because honestly, what else is there to do in a theme park other than read? Now you may be asking yourself, how do I plan on reading for 24 hours inside of Epic Universe when it's only open from 10 to 9? And to that I say, I've got a couple tricks up my sleeve.
Now, when this was filmed, Epic Universe wasn't even open to the public yet. It was still in a technical rehearsal, which may cause some of you to ask how I plan on spending 10 hours in this park, let alone 24. And that is where the Grand Helios comes into play. As one of Universal's 3 newest hotels, it has a surprising amount of amenities, but I'm not here for those. I'm here because of its real estate. The Grand Helios Hotel is, for all intensive purposes, inside of Epic Universe. Like, you cannot convince me that this hotel is not inside of this park. And that is where we begin our 24 hours of reading, ladies and gentlemen. With your stay at the Helios, you get an hour of extra park time that none of these other losers get access to. So I woke up at the bright and early time of 10 a.m. and walked into that park like I owned it. And quite literally was floored when we got let in. Now, unlike the rest of these people, I was not here to live out nostalgia or fix my childhood trauma. I was here with one purpose in mind, and that was to read. So we got to work almost immediately. I will admit, going into this, I was hoping for ride delays because that was something that Epic Universe really hadn't fixed when we went the first time, and I was just really counting on the ride delays. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to maximize my time reading in this park, and the one way I was gonna do it was in a ride delay. Which, lucky for me, the first ride of the day definitely delivered. I started out strong with my reading, and the ride got delayed for almost an hour, which was just beautiful. Chef's kiss.
Update, I just finished book 1. I'm just kidding with you. I was like 90% through with the book. I just finished it. We are starting with our first book of the day being River Wild by, I don't know who, I'll put it right here. And that's gonna be our first book. We're still in line. The park's not even open yet. And so I think this will be a great opportunity for me to get ahead in my reading game. The line's officially moving. The ride was delayed for about 30 minutes, and they just announced the end of the line is sitting at 240 minutes long. So I got about 6 chapters into my book. We're making steady progress.
Now, I'll admit, being 6 chapters deep in 45 minutes was not a bad way to start my day, but as you see this video go on, my reading pace becomes absolute dog crap by the end of it. I truly don't know how I mustered through the 3 books that I did manage to read. A part of me thinks that it's because of the heat. The heat truly did get to me and my family at this park. I have no clue why. We've been going to Orlando for years, but the heat just hit different. And this was at the beginning of the day. Things weren't very hot. We got on a ride within an hour. Like, we were peachy keen up until, I would say, the Toadstool Cafe, because after we rode this ride, we hit the Toadstool Cafe, which was not a pleasant experience at all, let me tell you. Now, I managed to read about 10 chapters in this one segment because we spent 45 minutes waiting on 4 pieces of garlic bread at the Toadstool Cafe. I'll admit this was definitely not a high point of my day, but after that we hit up Burke, which was much, much better. I love How to Train Your Dragon, and this place was amazing. But of course I had to get back to my reading. We got in line for Hiccup's Winged Gliders, and I was wearing these glasses, you can see in this clip, to get this angle, which is not very flattering. I kind of flopped with this, but you'll see something really interesting happen in this next clip. We actually got hit with not 1, but 2 ride delays while waiting for Hiccup's Winged Gliders, meaning the ride came back online and started working and then went back down for another hour.
We've waited in more lines today Then we were in the car driving down here.
It's so hot. Oh my god. We're at Jacob's Winged Gliders. It's delayed again.
More than an hour.
There are a lot of wait times. I wish we had bought some express passes because there's no way you can come here and do all the rides. That is for sure. In one day, no chance. I'm on chapter 8 of River Wild, and it says I have 240 minutes left in the book, but I think I can finish before we get on the ride. So, probably not going to happen.
After that 2-hour experience, we headed on over to Dark Universe, where we got on Frankenstein.
We're at Dark Universe now. It's been a while. I'm sweaty, obviously. Jacob's Winged Gliders was so good. One of my favorite rides. But I'm about to start on River Wild again. I'm on chapter 12. I believe that's what I finished at. And yeah, wish me luck. I'm so tired. But this is a great place to read because it's dark, it's air conditioned, and the line's not that long. So I'm really winning today. Actually, I'm not. Cut to this ride getting shut down and delayed.
Now, lucky for me, this ride didn't actually get delayed. I did end up making it to like chapter 14 of River Wild, which I was super proud of. It was super easy to read in here because it was dark and it was super air conditioned. None of the other ride queues were really air conditioned. And I will admit this ride queue is an epileptic person's nightmare. Like there were flashing lights everywhere. But overall, if you plan on reading entirely at Epic Universe, this is a great ride queue to be on. And the animatronics, as a geek, absolutely mind-blowing.
Lower the lights.
Even with everything going my way, I truly struggled to read, and part of the reason for that is it was really hot at this point. Like, it was truly hot. And I say that as a Floridian. I was burning up. And I was suffering. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was struggling. But this ride was really awesome. I do love it. Igor, man, my man Igor did not make it out, but I still love him. I miss him deeply.
Thank you for coming.
We got off of Frankenstein. It was such a good ride. Oh, better than Winged Gliders. Okay. It was really good. It was top two. And now we're about to get on Werewolf. We got into the single rider line, so we shouldn't be waiting that long, but it looks really fun. I've heard that it's short though. I'm gonna keep reading. I haven't picked up my books since we were in the Frankenstein line, but I think I'm still at chapter 14 if I remember correctly.
After this, I hit rock bottom. We went back to Nintendo World where we rode the Mario Party ride, and this was truly an experience that I can only describe as hell. Like, it was so hot in that freaking ride queue. I don't know why. There was no air conditioning. I could see my breath.
We're about to ride Super Mario Kart, or whatever that's called. I didn't read during lunch. It's been about an hour since we last saw each other. I didn't read during lunch because I didn't want to. But we're at about 40% through the book, and I think we can finish it in this line. It's an hour and a half, so hopefully I'll finish River Wild during this ride, and then we'll start a new book next.
I finished River Wild as we walked onto the ride, and I've never been so relieved. I wanted to get the hell out of here. It was so bad.
I finished River Wild right as we got onto the Mario Party ride, so that means I get to start a new book next time. I guess that hour and a half wait really did come in handy, man.
Now after this, we got a queue for Ministry of Magic, and this is where things truly get chaotic because all of my technology died except for my Kindle. So I was just reading, man. I wasn't filming crap. I was just reading. I managed to get 75% of the way through my second book during this ride queue. That was how long we were in there. There was a ride delay. We were truly in this ride queue forever. When we got out of this ride, it was nighttime. Now, the second book I read was Taming the Beast by Alexia Chase, which was not a good book. It was a 2-star read at best, but it was a theme park book. River Wild was not a theme park book. Taming the Beast was. Now, River Wild was the best book out of all 3 that I read, but it was about domestic violence, which was just not a comfortable topic for me to read about in a theme park. Taming the Beast and Blind Deception, my third book, were definitely theme park reads, which makes them more appropriate and easier to read in my mind and eyes. Now, after the Ministry of Magic ride, we ended up going on Stardust Racers, where I finished Taming the Beast because it was about an hour of a wait before we went through the metal detectors. And once we were done with Stardust Racers, the park was unfortunately closed, which means we entered the Grand Helios portion of this video. We had a reservation at the Grand Helios bar for dinner, so I ended up going up there, which our food did take quite a while. And surprise, surprise, your girl ended up reading up there. I actually started my third book while waiting for dinner. Now, I only managed to read a couple of chapters of the third book at dinner, but I will be 100% honest. After dinner at the bar, we enter a fever dream. Truly. We were traveling with friends, and those friends ended up eating dinner at Universal City Walk. So after we were done at the bar, we ended up joining them on City Walk. And things just don't go right after this moment. I'm not going to lie to you. Now, after we end up coming back to the Helios from City Walk, we were door dashing something to eat because the boys were still really hungry. The entrees at the bar were expensive, so we really didn't eat dinner. We kind of just snacked a little bit. But while we were waiting for DoorDash, Liam realized he left his phone on the only bus that goes back and forth between the Helios and City Walk. And our DoorDash driver decided that he wanted to leave our food on the side of the road, which created this really hectic moment because I don't even know what happened. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I struggle to explain this to you because it truly is just so wild looking at it from the outside in.
I will get to the DoorDash. There's a lot of layers to the story. We come back to the Helios, and as we're getting on the bus to go to the Helios, they're like, oh no, we're not leaving for 30 minutes for the last bus, so you need to get onto another bus. So we get onto another bus, and that bus takes us back to the Helios, except for plot twist. We see a bus get into a car accident with... on our way back to the Helios. So we pull over on the side of the road so we can make sure that the other Universal bus driver is okay. Turns out they didn't actually get into a car accident. The car almost made contact with the bus, and the car driver had weed on him, so he ran. Interesting story, not the main plot. While we're in the bus waiting to get back to the Helios, I DoorDashed McDonald's because we haven't eaten and we were hungry. So I DoorDashed McDonald's.
Either he's going to bring it here or we're going to find Olsen.
Let me get to the DoorDash. Okay, so we get back to the Helios. We're waiting for the DoorDash. Liam realizes, oh crap, I left my phone on one of the two buses we got on, probably the second bus that witnessed the car accident. And I realized I left my water bottle on one of the two buses, probably the first bus because I probably set it down. And when we transferred buses, I probably didn't bring it with me. This is bad because Universal throws away water bottles if they have water in them. They have to. So I'm panicked because that was my favorite water bottle. I know it's a third world problem. Don't tell me that. And I freak out. Liam freaks out. He doesn't have a phone. So we come back to the bus depot hoping, because the people at the front desk were like, literally, we can't help you. Fill out a lost and found form and just pray to God. So we come back to the bus depot because there's only two bus drivers for the Helios right now. And one of them's got to come back. So hopefully they've got either the phone or the water bottle. Okay. Water bottle and phone are on their way. However, DoorDash driver, of course, that couldn't have gone normally. He is not from America, which is not an issue usually. However, he could not figure out where the Helios was, even though I gave him the exact address for this place. He said that it brought him to a random street corner and he couldn't find the hotel, which is fine. But he then told me that he was going to leave my DoorDash order on the side of the road. So Matthew calls him. He says that he wants to leave the DoorDash order on the side of the road so he's not wasting time. And so, yeah, we're probably not going to eat. We're missing a water bottle and a phone. And
he's literally going the wrong way. No, we're calling someone.
Oh, my God. So, yeah, that's what we're doing right now, ladies and gentlemen.
What's going on?
Yeah, lots going on. Love my life, man. This is crazy. Update, the DoorDash driver just told me he left our food on the side of the road.
And the bus isn't here yet, and he said it was right behind him.
I know the bus is gonna. Our bus driver that witnessed the car accident, he was super nice. Loved him.
Oh, best guy ever.
He told us that he gave our water bottle and the phone to the other bus driver, and that it'll be here shortly. Like, he didn't get rid of it, which we're very happy about. I'm not gonna let this inconvenience stop me from reading books. Obviously not. Yeah, he lost our food. He ended up delivering it in the middle of nowhere, somewhere where we have no access to.
You're sitting down too.
I look so shiny on camera. I wonder why.
You have glitter on your face.
But yeah. I'm just going to keep reading. Keep on reading on.
Now, I was spectacularly failing at life at this point, but in terms of reading, I was winning. I was 10 chapters deep into my third book, Blind Deception by Sandy Alvarez and Crystal Daniels, which, by the way, I ended up finishing at the bright and early time of 2 a.m. But I will say, there was a lot that happened. And for a lot happening, I got a lot done. 3 whole books. Now, I will admit I was shooting for 5 books, but 3 is still a huge accomplishment for everything that happened, and I had a great time overall. This was a super interesting experience, and I'm curious to hear what you guys think about it. Do you have any more reading challenges for me? And what do you think about this reading challenge? Should I have read more? Should I have read less? Now, as for Epic Universe, while our time there was not perfect, it was still a lot of fun. I feel like they have a ton of kinks to work out, but overall, we had a great experience. I would definitely go back. I will be going back in a couple of weeks, and I want to know what you guys think. Should I redo this reading challenge? I'm really on the fence. I feel like we can do better next time, but I would love to hear your thoughts down below, and I love you guys. Bye.